Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of the most legendary franchises in gaming history, Resident Evil. Over the years, this saga has gone through a lot of changes. Classic survival horror, full-on action, first-person terror. This is a casual ranking, so if your favorite isn't number one, don't panic. Let's just enjoy the list. Let's get started.
Resident Evil 0.
Resident Evil 0 is one of those games people either like or really don't. As a prequel to the original game, it focuses on Rebecca Chambers and Billy Cohen, and its biggest twist is the partner system. The game is all about classic survival horror gameplay. Fixed cameras, limited saves, and tight inventory management are the core experience here. Being able to switch characters is cool, but the lack of item boxes can be annoying. Still, the atmosphere, music, and classic feel make it worth playing, especially if you're a fan of old-school Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 5.
Resident Evil 5 leans hard into action, and yeah, it's not very scary, but let's be honest, this game is insanely fun in co-op. The real strength here is playing with a friend. Sharing items, covering each other, and coordinating fights makes the game fast, smooth, and genuinely fun, even if the horror takes a back seat. The love Tori for many people, one of the most enjoyable Resident Evil experiences, even if it feels more like an action shooter than survival horror.
Resident Evil.
The original Resident Evil 3 gave us Nemesis, one of the most stressful enemies in gaming history. He doesn't just show up, he chases you, breaks through walls, and keeps you constantly on edge. Combined with Jill Valentine's escape from Raccoon City, the game feels fast, tense, and intense from start to finish. The dodge mechanic gives you more control during combat, and Nemesis constantly forces you to decide whether to fight or run. That pressure is what makes the gameplay so memorable.
Stars. Resident Evil Revelations.
Resident Evil Revelations was a pleasant surprise. It brings the series back to tight spaces, limited resources, and proper tension. Ammo is limited, enemies hit hard, and the tight corridors of the Queen Zenobia push exploration and careful movement. Scanning enemies, managing upgrades, and choosing when to fight or avoid combat gives the game a strong survival horror rhythm. Most of the game takes place on the Queen Zenobia, which feels like a classic haunted location. Playing as Jill Valentine again also helped win over longtime fans. It's not perfect, but it proves that smaller, more focused Resident Evil games can still work really well.
I don't think he's in the mood to say goodbye.
Yeah, but we're not here to babysit either.
Resident Evil 7 has completely changed the direction of the franchise and saved it. Combat is slower and more deliberate, exploration is key, and the first-person view makes every encounter feel personal. Early on, avoiding enemies is often smarter than fighting them, which really sells the horror. The first-person view, the Baker family, and the creepy plantation setting make this one of the scariest Resident Evil games ever. It feels personal, uncomfortable, and intense, especially during the first half of the game. The Resident Evil 4 remake is a perfect example of how to redo a classic. Movement is smoother, gunplay feels heavier, and enemy encounters are more tactical. Positioning, parrying, and resource management all matter more, making combat feel tense instead of mindless. It keeps everything that made the original great, but adds better controls, darker horror elements, and more emotional depth for Leon and the supporting cast. It feels modern without losing what made the original special.
Whoa! God damn your boy. Here you go. You got worms too?
Resident Evil 2.
The Resident Evil 2 remake nails atmosphere like very few games can. Exploring the police station, unlocking shortcuts, managing ammo, and dealing with Mr. X creates constant pressure. Every decision, fight, run, or save resources actually matters. The police station is dark, confusing, and stressful, especially once Mr. X starts chasing you non-stop. The Leon and Claire campaigns are fun, well-paced, and super replayable.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. This remake is pure classic Resident Evil at its best. Fixed cameras, tank controls, limited saves, and brutal enemies like Crimson Heads force you to plan every move. It's slow, methodical, and incredibly rewarding if you enjoy pure survival horror. The Spencer Mansion looks incredible. The added content makes the game scarier, and enemies like the Crimson Heads keep you on edge. If you want to understand where the series came from, this is the perfect place to start.
Payback time.
Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4 changed everything. The over-the-shoulder camera, precise shooting, and enemy reactions changed how action games were played. It's fast, responsive, and still feels great even years later. The camera, the combat, the pacing, this game influenced an entire generation of shooters. It's more action-focused, sure, but it's still tense, memorable, and endlessly fun to replay.
Prepare for your death, Leon.
At number 1, we have Resident Evil 2, Original. You're constantly managing ammo, health, and positioning while exploring Raccoon City. It's tense without being overwhelming, and that balance is what makes it so replayable. This game hits the perfect balance between horror and action. Raccoon City, the music, the characters, and the overall atmosphere are legendary. For many fans, this is peak Resident Evil, and it's easy to see why. Here they are. These are personally the best Resident Evil games in the franchise. What do you think? Do you think I missed any? Let me know in the comments. Remember to support the channel for more content. That's all for now. See you in the next level.